And then to make matters worse, we got struck by lightning, or a near miss, and there's the TV, 9-month-old, that fried. Still waiting to get that fixed. Luckily, I never got rid of my old TV that I replaced it with 9 months ago, so I'm getting along with that one. And the reason why the TV fried is this is the antenna cable coming out of the wall going to the TV. It melted the ends off the cables. The Best Buy service tech came in within 10 days of calling them, and they tried to get the TV to work and they couldn't, so they decided they were going to have to replace some parts. Well, 3 weeks later, they showed up with a new screen, a motherboard, and a power board. So basically, everything in the TV was going to be replaced except the plastic back and the legs. Well, when they put it together, it didn't work. So they took the parts and put them on my old TV, and they determined that the screen was bad. So we had to wait for another screen to come in. Screen came in, and the original motherboard that they had brought in, the first repair attempt, was bad. So they were going to order 2 motherboards to make sure that I would get a good one. So what the Best Buy service tech did was he put the TV together with the good screen and the bad motherboard, and I watched that for multiple weeks while I was waiting for the 2 new motherboards to arrive that never were even ordered, I don't think, but I never saw them. And so that's why the colors you see are all screwed up, because it would not produce red. Out of a total of 12 appointments, they missed 10 of them. They just kept making appointments, and I'd sit there all day and they'd never show. So eventually, I got fed up. I called Samsung. Samsung said that they would replace the TV, notify Best Buy that they were going to handle it. So I called Best Buy and I told them there's a disconnect between the people you talk to on the phone and boots on the ground that actually show up, because a day or 2 later, they showed up with parts to try to fix the TV. Well, of course, they couldn't get it fixed. So they told me to tell Samsung that they would handle it, not Samsung, because it's a Samsung TV. So, okay, I notified Samsung that Best Buy was going to handle it. Except the service tech wrote down that I was going to have Samsung replace the TV. So I waited an extra 6 weeks for Best Buy to do something. I went in and I talked to the people in the store. They have nothing to do with service and couldn't really help me. So I called Best Buy 3 or 4 times. They weren't any help. I went in and basically hollered at the store manager. He gave me the phone number of the Northeast, I think it was the Northeast Regional Repair, and he said he was going to make something happen. That's how I found out that Best Buy had it in their log that I didn't want them to repair the TV, that Samsung was going to do it. So within 2 days, I was told, you're going to get a new TV. And 10 days later, the new TV showed up. However, it was a total of 11 weeks and 10 failed or missed appointments. So it was just a giant cluster between Best Buy and Samsung, because neither one of them knows what the other's doing. They don't talk to different departments. It's just a mess. So anyway, got the new TV. Well, finally, after 11 weeks, I've got a TV again. And it works. But the interesting thing is, the guys that brought it in and took the old one away, they didn't set it up. They just, here's the box, goodbye. So I set it up, and luckily, it's running. Is it going to stay running? Don't know. So then I was told I needed to go and get the 5-year warranty transferred from the old TV to the new TV. So I go into the store. Store says, no, they can't do it. Got to call Best Buy. So I called Best Buy. They said, no, they couldn't do it. It had to be home theater replacement division. So I called them. And they said, oh, no, sir, it was automatically transferred. Really? Well, nobody else in your organization knows it. So anyway, nothing but a cluster. It would have been so much easier if you could just go in the store and have them handle it, but the store is incapable of doing anything except sell you a policy on a brand new TV. That's the only thing those people in the store can do. And when you dial Best Buy, most of those people are useless because they don't know what to do, and they don't even know what division you're supposed to talk to. And you get a different answer every single time you call them. So that's my rant on Best Buy and Samsung. So the first step was to install the grounding block onto the house and then run a copper wire over to the ground rod that goes down into the ground. And this right here is the ground for the antenna. And this right here will be the ground for the antenna cable. So I got to take this, cut it, go in one side, come out the other, go back inside and hook everything up, and it ought to work. And when it's all done and both sides are crimped, that's what it should look like. Now if you notice, this particular block has rubber seal. Some of them don't. With mine being out in the weather, I would prefer to have it waterproof. So anyway, that's the setup. And then my backup battery system, that crapped out. This fuse right here, 7 amp, 250 volt, quick blow, that went bad. That goes right there. And of course nobody had them locally. I had to order them from Amazon. Had to get, I think it was 18 of them. Like I need 18 to get that back in operation. And with the fuse installed, the inverter is back in operation. Battery voltage is back up. So let's discuss a couple more things that got destroyed by the lightning or the near lightning strike. So I come over here. This of course is my 36U Toyotomi kerosene water heater. This is my X10 that turns it on and off. Well, what happened was this module, it got hit by lightning and it would only run for 1 minute. And so I discovered that it was acting up because in the middle of a shower, the water got cold. I noticed the heater was off. I turned it back on. Water warmed back up. Got back in the shower. A minute later, it was off again. So I replaced the module. What you see here, this is my X10 adapter that I put on all my units. That it gives me 100% off and 100% on, where these standard units don't. It also works well for LEDs. But anyway, getting back, I replaced the module. No more problems. Now over here, this is my 13 gallon per minute pump. It's made by Phil Wright. It's a model SD600. Actually, it's a 602. And it got hit by lightning and it no longer runs. So I checked those connections. I checked in there. And it's going to require a complete rebuild. So I've got another pump coming, and then I will be buying the $200 rebuild kit and go through and replace all the electrics. Because if you've watched the farmhouse videos, you know that that is the pump that pumps from tank 2 to tank 1. Tank 1 is the gravity tank that feeds all my heaters and the water heater. So I've got the old pump off, and I'm going to show you what it takes to put the new pump in, given that I've only got just a little bit of clearance. So these 3 pipes are my fill pipes, or my suck-up pipe. So I have to put that in, and take this and connect to it. Then I take this pipe and connect to that. Then I've got to get, let's see, I got to get this around to connect onto it. Let's see. Let's hold that like that. Set there. Put that up on there. Then I can come down and align it. Try to anyway. There. So the next step is going to be putting it down on the actual tank itself. Got to get some goo. Put on these new threads. So, pick the pump up. It's heavy. Get it down in. And then try to get it to thread. When it's off center. Get that back around one more time. Like that. Whew. All right. Next job is the out pipe. Saw me do the in pipe. Now I got to get some goo and put it on the out pipe. Now my out is a special gas station grade gas line. I had a company make it for me. It's 50 feet long with swivels on each end. I wanted something that was going to be very tough, and the toughest I know of is gas station fill hose. So now, if I can just get that started. I want to cross thread it. That wouldn't be good. Obviously I don't have it straight. That's my problem. If I have it straight, it'll just go in. There we go. So all I got to do is tighten that down, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, now what's next is this electrical box. They had it set up going like that, so I had to take it off. I'm going to put it on the back side and had to put a cable clamp. And I got to get my old wire here and feed that through. Such as that. And then pull it through. Like that. Come on. There we go. Then I've got to connect to these wires and then bolt it back up. So hooking it up, it's simply green to green, white to white, and I got to get black to black. If you're colorblind, it might be a problem. Okay, so that's done. Then the electrical cable goes, I'm going to toss it over there for now. This has got to get stuffed down inside. It's a T25. You know that. I read the instructions. There we go. If I aligned it correctly, it would probably work. I'll get the other one on and I'll be right back. Now while you're away, I got that tightened down and I put the on-off switch. You bring this down to turn it off, and I think put it up to turn it on, I think. But anyway, if you notice, over here, right at the top of your screen, got a red light on this box. That means that the switch is on upstairs, because that's how I turn it on, is with a remote switch. So the thing is, if I plug it in, will it start pumping kerosene? Or have I got that other switch backwards? Alright, clean that off. So let's see. Okay, I did have it right. That's off. And that's on. That means at least 11 gallons a minute is being pumped from tank number 2 to my gravity tank number 1 outside. So we're back in operation. Finally. Well, about 3 months after the lightning strike, it's getting into fall, so I was going to fire up the outside light that covers the yard, and apparently that X10 relay is dead. So I pull out another X10 Pro relay, set it for A9 because that's what it is, and I'll just replace the relay and see if it fires up. Because right there I've got a 400 watt LED that lights up the whole yard. So with the relay replaced, I take my handheld controller and I push A9. There you go. And then to shut it off. So it works. So I just lost a relay. And that is everything that needed replacing from the near lightning strike.